Hello and welcome to News9. I'm Nishchita, and first up, 4 members of a family were killed while heading to Gokarna for a family vacation when the car they were travelling in collided with a tree. 3 of the 4 deceased were children. The 4 were residents of Bengaluru and have been identified as 11-year-old Diksha Naidu, 7-year-old Gagana Naidu, 9-year-old Jishna and 40-year-old Girish. The accident took place on Kalaghatgi Road. Quite gory scenes that were witnessed after a car crashed into a tree, killing 4 members of a family. My colleague Harish joins us with more details on this. Well, Harish, what more can you tell us about this tragic incident?
Well, the information coming in is that all the 4 people who have died in this particular accident are from Bengaluru. They were heading from Bengaluru to Gokarna when this accident happened in a place called Ramnala village. This is in Kalgatti Taluk of Dharwad district. The 4 people who have been died have been identified as Diksha Naidu, 11-year-old Diksha Naidu, 7-year-old Gagana Naidu, and 9-year-old Jishna and 40-year-old Girish. All these are from the same family. One more person, that is Lakshman Naidu, is said to be in a critical condition with injuries at the hospital. He has been shifted to the hospital and the case has been registered at the Kalgatti hospital. The information that is coming in right now is very sketchy, and there is no information on what really triggered this accident and why this car rammed into a tree while it was going on the road. It's not clear if the driver lost control over the vehicle or whether there was any other oncoming vehicle which the driver tried to avoid and rammed into this tree, Akshita.
That's right, and also we understand that it is a tragic incident where a family of 4 have lost their lives. What are the kind of reactions coming in, Harish?
Well, right now they haven't managed to establish contact with the family over here in Bengaluru. The district administration has shifted the deceased to the hospital for further formalities like postmortem, and one surviving person who is in a critical condition too has been shifted to the hospital. Now the police will perhaps establish on what perhaps could have gone wrong and what triggered this accident, Nishita.
Right, thank you for joining us with all those details there, Harish. Well, a tragic incident there being reported from Dharwad, where 4 members of a family lost their lives, 3 of whom are children, just minors, just 11-year-olds who have lost their lives. This after the car they were traveling in rammed into a tree. The impact of the collision was such that all 4 of them died on the spot. It is also believed that the driver must have been driving in very high speeds, and that's the reason why the car went completely out of control. Well, you can see the amateur footage of the accident site, even as officials are trying to pull out mangled bodies from inside the car and even a few injured persons to rescue them. And then the bodies as well as those injured were shifted to a nearby hospital. Family members inconsolable at the moment as they're unable to come to terms with this horrific loss. A wave of violent incidents at polling booths, largely due to fierce clashes among the YSR Congress Party, TDP and the Congress, blotted the key elections in Andhra Pradesh and Rayalaseema regions. Clashes were reported from YS Jaganmohan Reddy's stronghold Kadapa, Chittoor, Kurnool, Guntur, Anantapur and West Godavari districts. YSR Congress Party workers unleashed a reign of terror in Chittoor district with their targeted attacks against their rivals and even the polling staff. Tension prevailed in Nadavalluru of Ramachandrapura Mandal when a group of the Jagan party attacked the polling officials. Even the media personnel were assaulted and their OB vans and equipment were damaged when they went there to film the proceedings. Activists of the YSR, CP and the TDP clashed on the streets. There are 2 polling stations in Kurnool town, prompting police action to restore peace. The 2 traded charges of rigging votes against each other and began attacking each other. The police had to resort to caning to quell the feuding groups. The incident created panic in the vicinity with ordinary voters running around for cover. Polling was suspended for a while as a result of the incident. Street brawls between the YSR, CP and TDP men were also reported. from Gudipadu and Rudravaram of Guntur district. And while he is independent India's first voter, he has voted all along irrespective of the snow or heavy downpour in his region. And mind you, for the people who sit in the comfort of their home and complain about the government, he is an inspiration. It's time to meet Shyam Saran Negi. Kinnaur, a scenic town in Himachal, has one hero they look up to. Now it's neither Gandhi, Modi or Kejriwal, it's 97-year-old Shyam Saran Negi. Dressed in their traditional attire and a Himachali cap, Negi entered the polling booth to cast his vote. After fulfilling his responsibility, Negi held his inked finger to the cameras, which were waiting to capture independent India's first voter casting his vote. Negi, who knows the meaning of every vote, had one message to give to all: kindly vote for the betterment of India.
लुट खुदाते हुए मैं आकर के वो अपना कर्तव्य निभा रहा हूँ, वोट दे के जा रहा हूँ। सब मतदाताओं से मेरी दुआ है कि कोई मतदाता खाली ना रहे, सब आकर के अपना मतदान यहाँ अदा करें।
Earlier in the day, the young at heart Negi was presented with a shawl and a garland by the local administration for his relentless effort to drive home a point to fellow Indians on the importance of voting. Negi, who was touched by their admiration and respect, gave a vote of thanks.
बढ़कर और मानता क्या हो सकता है, इस कदर अब मेरी मानता हुई है, इसका मैं हार्दिक धन्यवाद करता हूँ।
For all of you who are still wondering as to why we refer to the wise man as independent India's first voter, the tag which he holds closely to his chest, we leave you with this inspirational story. What an inspiration! He lives in one of India's coolest corners where people think 100 times before stepping outdoors. But Negi is one of a kind.
बहुत खास दिन है, मौका है बड़ा काम करने का, और यहाँ ठंड में रास्ते बंद हो जाती थी।
In October 1951, the threat of winter and snowy roads allowed Himachal Pradesh to vote some months earlier than the rest of India in the first ever general elections. The first Indian to cast his vote in Chini was Shyam Saran Negi.
मुझे आज भी वो दिन याद है, वो खुशी।
He was all of 34 years then, and now after 6 decades, with a walking stick in his hand, he continues to urge people to vote. Truly, what an inspiration.
चाहे बर्फ पड़े या बारिश, ये काम हर दफा मैं पूरा करता हूँ।
News9 report.